everybody out there in the Frontline universe, and welcome back to a show myself and Jeremy like to call
Anime Weekly,
where we talk about the top anime coming out of Japan. And guys, 7 out of the 8 or 9 animes we discuss right now on the show are actually on the top 10 most watched animes out of Japan right now, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I guess we have really great taste. I mean, not to brag or anything. Like, I guess like Japan agrees with us. Like,
yes. So this week, unfortunately, there's no Assassination Classroom. It took a break, but it's going into the story arc that I've been eagerly waiting for, which is going to be.
And this is one I've been talking to Chris about. Like, ever since we started the series, really, because I'm like, dude, I'm like, dude, this seems fun now, but once we get to Koro Sensei's backstory, it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real.
Hey, I just noticed something. Welcome back, Jeremy.
Yeah, long time no see, guys. Exams are coming up. Like my final semester of college, gearing up for graduation. A lot of stressful times, but I finally got to just kick back, relax, and watch some great anime episodes. So I'm back.
And I'm actually excited because I know I recommended 2 or 3 animes to you before last week's episode. And I know you just watched Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, so I'm really excited to see your full thoughts, because a lot of these episodes are in episode 2, so it'll be great to hear your full thoughts on the full animes, because I did a lot of number 1s last week.
Yeah.
Shame on you making me do all number 1s by myself.
blame my teachers if you want to blame somebody.
I'll find them all. I will Assassination Classroom every single one of your teachers.
Oh, man. Be careful. Like, Professor Bitch is a feisty one.
I have other means for Professor Bitch. Don't worry. I don't have to kill her. Anyway, really quickly before we get into the anime, we like to touch on a little bit of news. Or actually, Jeremy and I were talking before recording this episode. And, anime, a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it is based off of either card games, Pokemon,
Yu-Gi-Oh!, Luck and Logic, yeah.
But 90%, I'd like to say 90% or maybe 85% of the animes are based off of manga. And one thing that Jeremy actually got me into, at first when we started Anime Weekly, I was doing strictly anime, but I noticed, this is episode, I believe, 14 now. I noticed that ever since the further we got along on this series, I actually started reading the chapters that have been coming out of Japan from a lot of the manga series. And
and I mean, I'm telling you, like, I think it started with Fairy Tail Zero, because I was like, trust me, you have to read the manga to get the full effect of this story and the feels and the Zera.
No, actually, the first manga I started reading was Tokyo Ghoul, because everybody told me you've got to read it. I think I started on chapter 1, and I had to stop myself on chapter 105. Because I was literally spending too much time on one series, but then I did get into.
I feel you though, because Tokyo Ghoul is one of my favorites, and the sequel series Tokyo Ghoul Re is awesome. Like, I normally read from my subscription, like my subscription site, and once those are translated, they send those over. Like I think it's like $5 $10 a month for pretty much the same price.
Not bad.
Same price as like a Crunchyroll subscription, or like pretty much same price as Crunchyroll. So if if you're already paying for Crunchyroll, you might as well. I think it's from the Viz Media site or something. I know it's attached to that.
I have to look up on DCBS now that Michael and I switched over if they do manga as well as comic books.
I know Midtown does. I know in my next order, because it's a really light week, I actually put in for a couple of volumes. I think maybe I'm thinking about getting One Punch Man because they're doing the combined volumes now.
They are.
Yeah. I put in an advance order for one of those ones that's just 1 and 2 smushed together.
Oh, okay. I have the first. I think I'm missing the recent 2 that came out. I think I have 1 through 3.
So you're missing 4 and 5. Oh, nice. I think it's volume 3 with the silver. Is volume 3 the one with Silver Fang on the cover?
That's the one I'm
That's four.
missing.
Oh, that's four.
First
Yeah.
one is One Punch Man, Saitama. Second one is, I think, Genos.
Uh-huh.
Third one, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is Silverfang. And then the fourth one is the bicycle guy.
Oh, Moment Rider. Yeah, I like Moment Rider. He's cool.
I'm almost sure. Now I'm not too sure myself. I'm not. I don't remember. I have it, but what we're trying to get across, because we just completely. We might actually start adding some manga discussion to the beginning of the show. Not a lot, because this is Anime Weekly. But, start talking about some mangas that we've been reading, some chapters. Maybe bring up a book that we just watched. Since Jeremy's getting a couple of books next week, maybe he'll show us his, not like a haul, but he'll show us the
Yeah.
books and give us his
Yeah,
thoughts. His
yeah,
first thoughts.
just a couple volumes. I mean, and at the same time, a lot of these, like a lot of the ones I'm getting, are just ones from anime that I really like. So I mean, I'll have already seen it, so I'll just kind of compare the adaptation, I guess.
And actually, I will be getting the Blu-ray series of Fairy Tail. As I'm getting it, maybe I'll do a little bit of a talk on those Blu-rays as I'm getting them,
Oh,
and I'm
cool.
gonna
Yeah, yeah.
Blu-ray a few anime. So we're gonna use the beginning of this show as a way to springboard into mangas, DVDs, and some other stuff extra. It will not take over the show, we promise you guys. And if it starts to take up a huge chunk of the beginning of the show, maybe we'll do a double recording where there'll be the intro, like a pre-show, which we'll talk about all that stuff, and then the actual show where we talk about anime. Obviously, for us, it'll be one.
I mean, and if it ends up getting too huge, like worst case scenario, we might even just make it as like a separate segment on its
That's
own.
what I just meant. A
Yeah,
separate show. We'll do like two
yeah.
shows, and we'll put one show up one day. We'll put the Anime Weekly up first, but then we'll do the other show another day, and we'll work it out if things start to really get too much. We don't want the show to be so long that it takes you guys forever to
Yeah.
watch. So
Cause I mean the whole thing for Frontline is we're trying to expand into to different territories, and
Mhm.
we know the anime community is huge, especially here on YouTube. So like it's gonna be cool to just kind of talk about other things besides comic books and stuff on the channel.
Agreed. And like we said, we'll work on it. But for right now, it's going to be a smaller segment. We'll see how you guys like it. Let us know in the comments. That's what comments are for. If you guys enjoy the segment, we'll do a little bit more maybe. Again, remember, we have limited time because we do other things. So manga and DVDs and stuff, that would be like I said, it'd be more of a sporadic intro thing.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever they actually come in, like it's not gonna be like every week we're gonna buy a new I'm gonna buy a new volume, or Chris is gonna buy a new DVD, because
Right.
we're not made of money, guys.
Not even that. It's just I don't have time. We only have 24 hours in a day right now. Maybe if the Earth got bigger and it took a while for the sun to go
Oh,
down and we had longer days, then we could talk. But until
yeah.
then, but anyway, Jeremy, you actually had a few things you wanted to talk about. So that's the ideas that we have going on in our heads. If you guys want, comment below. Let us know your thoughts. Mangas, DVDs. Would you like us to add that to the beginning every once in a while? Even talking about chapters that come out the week we're doing the recording. We're willing to throw that around every once in a while. And like we said, if it gets bigger, it'll get another show. What do you guys think? Now, Jeremy, you actually have a few things you wanted to talk about before we actually got into the show. So
Okay, so
minutes.
like
Let's.
manga chapter wise, I'll do this really quick. So One Piece, we got like a big chunk of world building in this recent chapter where
What
like
chapter
basically
number is it? Do you know?
I don't know the exact chapter number. Like I normally just kind of look at it and read it. It's not like with comics where they like label it right off the bat.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
But anyway, so the chapter, it's basically we deal with Princess Vivi. If you guys remember Princess Vivi from the Alabasta arc, the blue-haired chick who hung out with the Straw Hats for a while. She, along with a lot of other world leaders, is going to the Revelry, which is like kind of the government, like the United Nations summit for the One Piece world, and they're trying to figure out alliances and different power struggles. And there's a lot of talk about the Straw Hat crew after the defeat of Doflamingo, because Doflamingo was actually pretty powerful in the criminal underworld, and he had pull in the world government and all that stuff. So like even though that arc was a few months ago, that still has a huge impact on what's going on in the One Piece world, and it's really interesting to see kind of the politics play out. And you can still tell that this is in the pirate era because things are still very heated and very like it's a powder cake pretty much, and like it's going to be interesting to see where things kind of go from here. So that was pretty much One Piece. Fairy Tail we're continuing the Alvarez Empire
You told
arc.
me something that I liked last week about Mavis.
Yeah,
You
so
said they're gonna try to bring
yeah,
her back to life.
yeah,
They
yeah.
do that. I'm going to fast forward into the manga and get
Yeah,
fucking.
okay, so just so you guys can get some context of what Chris is talking about. So what happened is, right? So we've got Mavis, and Mavis was dealing with this guy Jacob from the Alvarez Empire, one of Zerof's generals, and he was attacking Mavis's uh, basically Mavis has created. You know how Mavis's ability, her magic, is to create illusions or whatever.
Right, and she's
So
using
yeah,
that to.
yeah, so yeah, her ghost form is actually an illusion, and somehow Jacob is powerful enough to disrupt the ghost form, and then she after Natsu and Lucy team up and take down Jacob. Mavis talks to Kana, who actually is kind of the heir to her magic because she was able to access fairy glitter and fairy law or whatever. So she talks to Kana, and she tells Kana, she's like, I need you to do something for me, something very important. I think I figured out the key to defeating Zeref. And then she's like, oh, okay, I'll do it. So what do we have to do? It's like, I need you to destroy my body, and so that we can destroy the lacrima that I'm encased in. And then she's like, but wait, Mavis, if we destroy this, aren't you going to die? She's like, no, actually, you see, what I haven't told you, the rest of you is, Precht was constantly experimenting on how to bring me back to life, and actually, there was a point where I actually was brought back. It's just I've kind of been recharging this entire time.
Whoa! So Precht actually did it.
Yeah, and like that's like him. I guess kind of the cost of him bringing Mavis back
Was the black was
was the dark magic kind of taking him over and turning him evil and stuff. So in the end, it's kind of him making a noble sacrifice, sacrificing the good in himself to bring back Mavis, who's kind of the ultimate good and the only one that could really take down Zeref in the first place. So it's really interesting. I want to see if Mavis is actually going to come back. What exactly is the true power of the Lumen Historia or the Fairy Heart? Mavis is, true body and all that stuff. It's really cool. I want to see because obviously Zeref is not going to go down this easy, so it's going to take more than just Mavis.
I have to catch up because I know when Fairy Tail season finale, I went in and ironically, the chapter that it ended on was the episode it ended on was a chapter title, which I was so thankful for. I actually read about 4 chapters more in, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I can't wait to see them actually animate this arc once Fairy Tail actually comes back. I'm glad that it's shifted to a seasonal schedule so that they can take more time with the animation and stuff. So that's
But
cool.
hopefully they'll do like what they did with and Serenity mentioned this on in the comments. Did I move? Okay.
Yeah, you're moving. You're good.
Okay, I froze for a second on the program, so I just wanted to make sure I'm okay. Okay, so Serenity mentioned it last week in the comments last week, and I want to thank everybody who commented. I will get to your guys. I will mention you guys when we get to the animes we talked about. But he mentioned, oh god, now see, I got scared with the freeze, and it threw me completely off. Oh darn!
So
I lost.
he mentioned what did he mention?
I forgot now because I got scared with the freeze. What were we talking? Oh, that Sailor Moon Crystal was actually seasoned off, and it's every 6 months they bring more in. So I was saying, hopefully, Fairy Tail will
Is every 6 months. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I completely when it froze, my mind went no.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, and it's funny. I talk to Ricky on a all the time, and like he actually when I used to review Sailor Moon on my channel, like he was like, yeah, you do a great job with this. It's like, what happened to your reviews? I'm like, like the release schedule for Sailor Moon got so sporadic, I just forgot when it came on, so I just stopped doing reviews altogether. And I'm sorry for anybody that was actually watching those, but it was so confusing, especially because like I had to go by Hulu release, and like Hulu kind of gets annoying when they put up their animes because they break them up really weird, and all the ads and commercials. I hate commercials.
I it drives me nuts, those commercials. Don't mind me. I've completely forgot to go into the video because I want to make sure when we get to certain parts or certain animes. But yeah, no, I hope they do like 6 months. Unfortunately, with One Punch Man, we're gonna wait till 2017.
I mean, a full year to get that quality of a show is totally fine with me. As long as they don't change the theme song. If they change the theme song, I am going to be so pissed.
I think I would be upset too. Am I? Oh, I'm on the wrong episode. Heh, heh, heh. I just saw you and me. I was like, wait, what? I was on the wrong episode. So no, I'm just eager to get One Punch Man back. I really miss that show. Here's the episode that I wanted. Okay. There. And then we get to the comments, and then we can turn it off. Okay. Sorry. We're
but
so
yeah,
prepared for this show.
yeah. Look at us being all professional and whatnot. You can. I mean, you can totally not tell that this is our first time back in a while. I mean.
Oh, Jeremy, we're at 15 though. Do you want to really quickly talk about that video you saw?
Oh yeah. So really quick, just to plug other cool anime stuff going on in the YouTube community. There's this guy. I want to say his name is like Pelic, or it starts with a P. I'll put a link in the description below for the video. But he does a lot of different covers, and he does a lot of anime theme opening covers. He did one for One Punch Man. He did one for like Full Metal Alchemist and Samurai Champloo. A bunch of other really cool anime that I love, and I love the openings too. But he actually did a video relatively recently where he covers every single one of the Naruto Shippuden anime openings, all 8 of them, back to back to back to back to back, and it was absolutely amazing. And I noticed a trend with the Naruto Shippuden anime openings. I like every other one. Like,
What do you think about the current one? I like the current one.
the current one is pretty good, but again, that's an even-numbered opening. So even-numbered openings are always better than odd-numbered openings. It's like Star Trek. It's weird. Like, you know how Star Trek fans say that thing about Star Trek movies? Like how the odd-numbered ones suck and the even-numbered ones are actually pretty good? Yeah, that's how I feel about the Naruto Shippuden anime openings. Although, no disrespect to the odd-numbered openings. They're still good. They're just not as good as the even-numbered ones.
Gotcha. All right, guys. We're going to go into some anime this week. We got 8 shows. Like I said, Assassination Classroom took a break this week. So, for this episode, and the time is back finally, we have Naruto Shippuden, episode 456, continuing Itachi's story. Man, it's so good. Dragon Ball Super, episode 39. Man, is there a
Best
huge
fight of the
surprise.
tournament. Best fight of the tournament so far. I'm calling it right now, guys. Like, if you are a DBZ fan, this is the episode for you.
Yeah. Then we've got Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, episode 2.
Yep.
Ace Attorney, episode 3. Endride, episode 3. Cerberus, episode number 2. 100, number 2. And then we are ending this show with Boku no Hero Academia, which a lot of people are very, very, very happy with. And I definitely could agree with, with that.
It's a beautifully done show, and I love the manga. I need to get more bookshelves because my shelves are starting to get really cramped.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling. All right, so let's start with Naruto Shippuden episode 456. Now, I enjoyed this episode. Now, he joined the
Akatsuki, Akatsuki, the basically the evil group led by Obito / Madara. Yeah, it's really cool. But really quickly, I want to talk about like last week's episode since I wasn't here, and that one was amazing. Oh my god!
Waiting for that. You were waiting for that where he
turned massacre. It was so cool. The animation looked like a movie. It was beautiful.
Yes.
I loved just the carnage and the slaughter, and it was, oh my god.
Everything you hope for, huh?
And man, when I was really glad that it wasn't Itachi that killed his girlfriend. I was glad that it was Obito that did it.
I know. I was gonna say, Jeremy's gonna be happy when he sees that it wasn't him that killed his girlfriend.
Yeah, because I was gonna be so sad. I was like, oh, don't kill your girlfriend, man. But it was really sad when she yelled out for Itachi, and then but it was really cool to see him like actually go face to face with his father Fugaku, and Fugaku was actually like, you know what, son, this is what you were meant to do. Just know this, I'm proud of you. And it's just like, oh dang, respect, respect. I was like, that's so cool. And I loved like the whole deal with, all right, I'll be your outlaw, I'll be your scapegoat. Just make sure my brother is safe. No matter what, he's the future of my clan. Keep him safe. And Old Man Third kept to his word, and it was awesome. I was happy. This was what I wanted. They could have ended this arc right there, and I would have been perfectly happy.
I'm
Like,
glad they didn't though, because I liked seeing him in this other clan. Now he's like a there's a bounty on him. He's working with this other group, and we find out that he goes out on a mission. His partner ends up dying, and we get. I do know a few things that were going on. And I know when a few people joined the clan, like that last scene where that shark guy ended up joining. I
yep,
remember
Kisame is it was his current partner in Naruto Shippuden until he died later on in the series.
and I remember him. I remember his first appearance in Naruto. I remember watching Naruto.
Yeah, he was cool. I also liked seeing the Orochimaru on the Akatsuki, and he was like, "Oh, Itachi, it's nice to see you here." I thought that was interesting. Because you saw in the beginning when Itachi was a child, he went to Orochimaru for advice and stuff, so that was cool.
That was a great scene as well. It's just really cool because Itachi's not a bad guy. He just got
No,
screwed in a bad position.
he is my favorite character because he is so complex. He's one of the most interesting characters in the Naruto universe because like he has the right balance of mystery, but even though you know more about him, you still don't know enough to where it loses its charm to the mystery like a Wolverine type of situation. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. And I like that his motivations are, even though he does some of these terrible things, like slaughtering your entire family, he has such pure intentions.
But if you think about it, exactly, he's not doing it because, oh, I'm a bad guy. I just love killing. No. He actually, sometimes he was told, when he was Ambu, he was told by the higher ups, he was kind of forced to kill his clan, or else his clan was going to take Naruto, and they were going to take over the Nine Tail, and that would destroy the world.
And it would kill Naruto, who is an innocent child.
Right. So technically, he does bad things.
Yeah,
not by choice.
The way I see it, Itachi is very much like Spock in the way where he thinks like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like that's very much like a kind of a Vulcan type of like ideology where like, yeah, that's right, guys. I'm referencing Star Trek on an anime show. Yeah,
it could
that's
happen.
Right. I'm that much of a nerd. I'll do it.
All right, but I couldn't. This episode of Dragon Ball Super, episode number 39, brought me back.
This was such a good throwback to classic DBZ.
And they showed it. They showed a flashback of Vegeta versus Goku. Okay, Goku versus Hit. I thought, and you could correct me if I'm wrong before we even get into the episode, I thought he was going to learn Hit's technique.
He kind of does, though. Like a little bit. Like he's starting to pick it up like bits at a time. And I have a feeling by the end of this fight, he will know that technique.
I think so too. But what I loved was not that. The new technique wasn't learning Hit's technique. He learned, and we haven't seen this.
He didn't really learn it. He said that he was saving it up for when he fought Beerus
again. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Video error. We'll edit this all together. But anyway, yeah, you're right. He actually was saving the technique to fight Beerus, but we haven't seen this since the Vegeta saga.
No, and I honestly forgot like that it was an actual relevant technique because it's kind of weird. I can't
believe you forgot. I knew that.
No, I knew what it was, but like at the same time, like I didn't think he would need it after,
the Super Saiyan.
Acquiring the Super Saiyan transformation. It kind of seemed like an obsolete technique, but the fact that it brought it back, and they brought it back like full force, in combination with Super Saiyan God.
Or Blue. They call it Super Saiyan Blue in Japan.
Yeah, Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan God is the red one. Super Saiyan Blue is the second form. Yeah. So combining it with Super Saiyan Blue and the fact that like both auras also kind of combine, so it's like red and blue at the same time, and it also
Can
like when
kill
you
him. It can
yeah
potentially kill him. And
yeah
we're talking about everybody's
because of all the strain on his body and stuff. Yeah.
and everybody's probably wondering, what are you guys talking about? Kaioken came
Yep.
back this week, and it's just
Kaioken.
times one, times two, times Kaioken times 10.
Yep, it was great because like when he actually attacked hit, I was gonna say hit, but that's gonna start sounding confusing. When he actually attacked hit and he connected the punch, it was the same exact Kaioken punch he landed on Vegeta, and Vegeta's face when he saw that he was like, oh my god,
He was
and
pissed because he's like,
he was so jealous. He was like, damn it, Kakarot, again.
again, you beat me. Did you hear the rumors, by the way, that future Trunks?
Oh yeah, we should have talked about that in the beginning. But
I
yeah,
remember it as we're talking about Vegeta.
there was a huge interview with Akira Toriyama and Tayo Toro. I apologize if I mispronounced your name, sir. But there was a huge interview with the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, and the current author and artist of the Dragon Ball Super manga, who actually started out in the Dragon Ball fan art community. If you guys remember a little thing called Dragon Ball AF with like the white-haired Super Saiyan fan art and stuff like that, he actually was the one who drew all that stuff. And apparently his work was so impressive that Toriyama and the people over at Viz Media were like, "Hey, do you want to do an actual Dragon Ball manga?" So that's really cool. Toriyama's obviously still involved in it, giving him guidance. But anyway, so there's a huge interview, and he's talking about what plans does he have for future arcs after the Universe 6 arc. And he's like, well, there's one. Toriyama's like, well, we're toying around with the idea of bringing back a possible fan favorite character from the future. And we're like, it's like from the future. There's only one person from the future, unless they're gonna bring a future Gohan that's actually badass. Like I would be cool with that too.
All I know was I hope it's true and it's Trunks. That would be so epic.
And if you guys go back to our earlier episodes of Anime Week, there's some fun memories with Trunks.
Oh dang it, Trunks! But going back to this episode. I loved it. The only thing I didn't like was the coming attractions where it looks like Goku might not be as successful in this tournament.
He has to win. There's no way Goku's going to lose. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I have faith in our boy Goku.
Maybe Maka's going to come up and he's going to the super...
Maka's a troll. Dude. He was just a placeholder.
He is.
And, like, you see how nervous Beerus is getting when Goku's about to lose. He's like, oh man, Maka's not going to do shit. He's going to just, I'm so excited. Like, we finally get that energy back that we've been missing from Dragon Ball Super, that Dragon Ball Z had. And it's just, I felt like a kid again.
Yes.
It was awesome.
I loved it. All right, now. We are going to talk about my Kabaneri of the Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Now, I talked about episode 1 last week, so we'll talk about episode 2. But Jeremy, now, without going into episode 1, we don't have to review it. I just want your initial thoughts after you watched episode 1. What were your thoughts on this show?
This was pretty freaking cool. Like, shout out to Mike Spiderslayer, the big Walking Dead fan over here on Frontline. This felt a lot like Walking Dead, but honestly, in my opinion, a very much better version of The Walking Dead to me.
I wouldn't say better, but it's anime meets Walking Dead.
It's better. The reason why I say better, and like no disrespect to Walking Dead fans, if you like Walking Dead, that's fine, it's your opinion. But honestly, my biggest problem with The Walking Dead is the pacing and how slow it moves. This moves point A, point B, bam, 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 bam. But at the same time, you still get the character moments, you still get the world building, but you don't spend 30 minutes just walking and driving and walking and driving and talking and riding a train and walking and walking and walking.
And you said you liked the train in this, actually.
Oh no, the train system is really cool. Like, man, like it reminded me of back when I used to live in the city, and I actually used to like the train. But like,
Dude, when you finish college, you got to move back to New York. That's what you need to do.
man, I'm starting to think. I'm thinking about it.
Why not?
I'm
I
really
got a
thinking
few
about it.
friends. I have a few friends that are actually debating moving around here, which would be great. If you came by, that'd be awesome. You'd have like we could literally do Anime Weekly in the same house without dealing with this split screen stuff. It'd be so.
Yeah, it would be a lot more convenient. But yeah, anyway, back to topic. It's really cool. I like the concept of these zombies, and I like that with anime. Whenever anime deal with zombies, it's never the same kind of zombie. So
Hmm.
it's very interesting, and it's not like your typical virus type of thing or some
Right.
kind of weird magic.
If
You
you
still
get bit, what happens is if you get bit, it's even better than Walking Dead because if you get bit, it's almost instant that you change, and what happens is your heart becomes harder than
Yeah,
steel.
there's like this weird like casing around your heart. It reminds me of like again, like you talked about you brought up the Attack on Titan comparison in the solo episode. Very much like Attack on Titan, how if you guys know your Attack on Titan, you know that the giants have this weakness. You can see me touching the back of my neck here. They have a weakness in the back of their neck, like the nape of their neck there, and
Hmm.
that's their weak point that they're supposed to strike with the maneuver gear, and that's basically what they had to do with these like what do they call them? Like the
Oh, a steam.
Kaiban?
It was a yeah, but what he made was he made a steam bolt gun, and the steam bolt goes right through him
Yeah,
and
oh,
kills him.
and that's another thing. I like the steampunk feel of this world.
Yes.
I'm a big, supporter of steampunk and the steampunk style, and this was really cool. That's another reason why I like Attack on Titan because it's very steampunky, and I like this because it's also very steampunky.
Yeah. Now this episode, episode 2, I was always wondering if the bad guys are Kaban, why are they calling this show Kabaneri? We find out what Kabaneri means in this episode. The Kabaneri are not Kaban, but they're not human anymore either, because the main character, Icona, and the other girl that we saw, the girl that we saw in episode 1 that has like all the sick skills, I
Yeah,
think her
yeah.
name is Mei Mei, both of them were bitten, but both of them survived. So
Yeah,
the
I guess,
main
yeah. So
Kabaneri,
yes, yeah. I guess like they're the ones that are they're like the small percentage that are immune to the bite of the Kaban.
yeah, so basically they have the abilities of the Kaban, but they still remain human up here in the
Yep.
brain. Because they shot Icona in this episode, and he should have been dead, but he survived.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I figured that was where they were gonna go because usually with anime, the main character has some kind of connection to the monsters, and he helps fight these monsters in a way. Because like it was like that with again like with Attack on Titan. Eren is a Titan. Eren can transform into a Titan.
Hmm.
With Zeref of the End, the kid is half vampire. Um,
With
there's
Cerberus, the kid is connected to the
to the
dragon.
dragon, yeah, and
Episode
we'll
one.
get to that when we talk about the action of the anime itself. But
Naruto, he's connected to the Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto is connected to the Naruto. You see the pattern here? Yeah, it's so like if you watch enough anime, you could have probably guessed that he was gonna be half Kaiban or whatever you want to classify that as.
Yeah, it's hard to say the name, but I have to say this. Out of all the new series we've gotten so far, this one, Ace Attorney, and 100, maybe Cerberus, feel like, and Boku no Hero Academia, of course, feel like they can be seasoned off or ongoing.
Well, yeah, and we already know for a fact that My
Boku.
Hero Academia is going to be seasoned off, and that's fine. And honestly, I think this one, because of all the plot potential with this like huge Kaiban outbreak, this could actually have multiple seasons. Unlike a
Divine Gate, yeah, where it
Divine
kind of
Gate
looked like it was
or Luck
over.
and Logic. Well, Divine Gate, like we said, could possibly come back with like a movie or like a OVA or
And
something.
same thing with Luck and Logic. If they get his card back, maybe somebody else, there'll be a new threat.
Yeah, but yeah, stuff like that. I definitely think that this one can go for multiple seasons, and Attack on Titan's a little bit slow on the development, so maybe this might be like a bit of a fill-in for it.
Right, they'll do like every
Yeah,
season.
or like, it'll at least help give us our fix until we get Attack on Titan back.
But basically, They find out he's bitten. The people go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they're like, you have to kill yourself. And at first, they actually kill Icona. They shoot Icona off the train, because that's how they're escaping the city that's now being overrun by
I
Kaiban.
mean, but to be honest though, like if you were in their situation, wouldn't you kind of be
Yeah.
freaked out too?
Yeah, of course. It's I like how the writer knows how people would panic, and how panic would bring fear, and fear would bring
Absolute chaos.
exactly. So, and then he comes back and he ends up saving them. And then he gets back on the train. He gets saved by his friend. But then they tell him, kill yourself. And then the girl shows up and she's like, you guys are dumb. He's not a Kaiban, but he's not a human anymore either. And then she shows she was bitten. He's a Kabaneri. End of episode 2. Perfect. So we got
Yeah.
an intro to what they are.
Yeah, it was a really nice setup and very very clever world building. It reminded me a lot of Tokyo Ghoul.
Did you talked about how the animes look like movie. When she was running through the city, killing all the Kaiban, and the music started playing, did that not
The animation is really cinematic for this, and I love the framing for it. Like it is just beautiful. Like
Loved it.
that's what I love about seasonal animes as compared to like weekly ongoings like Dragon Ball Super or One Piece and stuff like that. Like again, no disrespect, those two are two of my favorite shows, but like the fact that they have to constantly pump out episodes means they kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of quality there. Whereas like with a seasoned off episode, you have a set number of episodes and a set budget, so you can actually like spend your budget a lot more wisely on the animation to improve the quality, make it look more cinematic, polish it off, make it look pretty. And man, it's great.
That part was gorgeous. I loved it. I loved the music. It all fits so perfectly. I was like, man, I'm so glad I'm watching this anime.
She's gonna be like the Mikasa of the series. And
Yes.
Mikasa's like my favorite character on Attack on Titan. I'm gonna keep comparing it to Attack on Titan, but like that's pretty much what I like the whole vibe I was getting this entire time, and I'm like, I still dig it though. I dig it.
I loved it. I cannot wait for episode 3. I can't say anything bad about any anime this week. Let's go into Ace Attorney, since we're at 13. We're at an even number, basically, right now, for me at least. And Ace Attorney, your thoughts on the whole series. I know we're 3 episodes in with Ace Attorney, but we didn't watch the first 2 episodes, so technically you have to play the catch-up game with episode 1 and 2.
Yeah, I actually watched all 3 when I saw that it was 3 episodes, because like
It's connected, really. The first episode was an intro, and the other 2 kind of are connected.
Yeah, and like every time I was watching it, like again, like how like just like how I'm gonna constantly compare like Iron Fortress to Attack on Titan, I'm gonna constantly compare this to Law and Order, because as I was watching this, I just kept like when each episode started, I just kept hearing in my head, bum bum, that sound effect in the beginning of Law and Order.
Man, I know Phoenix Wright because my brother's girlfriend loves Phoenix Wright. She has the games, so I'm familiar with his character. I've not played the game, but I'm familiar with the character and what the setup is. And as a matter of fact, I got a comment from somebody last week. His name is, or her name is, we got a new comment from Angel. I have to check that out after this. But Flavio, the anime guy, I will share the picture. I don't think my camera's... Yeah, there we go.
There we go. It's in focus now. There we go.
And he mentioned that if Ace Attorney does well, the creator said, and I quote, Takumi said that if the anime does well, he will have a surprise in store for us. My guess is the surprise is TNT. I think that's the next volume of...
Oh, okay. Because, like, again, I don't play...
Trials and Tribunals. I'm sorry. Trials and Tribunals.
Oh, okay. Because, I don't play the game. One of my good friends, David does, and, like, he's really into it. He actually got me into a lot of these type of games from Japan. I got into Persona pretty heavy, like Persona 4, and that anime was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. I haven't played Phoenix Wright, but you know what? Actually, I kind of want to get these games now because I'm very much into the crime and like the law and stuff.
It's ironic because Angel actually did say something about Ace Attorney. He said enjoyed 100 and Boku no Hero Academia, which we will get into. Wasn't sure about Ace Attorney until I watched the second episode, and he's on the fence about Endride. But he was on the fence about Ace Attorney till episode 2, and then I guess he got on board. He said kind of a slow burn. Haven't yet watched Kabaneri, a few others that have just started. Oh, he mentioned 3 shows that he has been watching that have just started. But honestly, guys, we will look into other animes. But at this point, I think we've got a pretty solid number. I know that DN also recommended another 3 animes to me. I still got to get that list up. We'll look into them. It's something to possibly add into at some point, but
Yeah, and if they're still going while like when our shows eventually do drop off, we're definitely gonna add them on. But we don't want to overload ourselves, and we don't want to make this like a 3-hour show. So
it goes back to the time thing exactly. All right, so episode 3. Oh, we didn't. Did you finish your talks about?
Oh no, yeah, that was pretty much it. Like, I'm not too familiar with the games, but I do like the Law and Order type of vibe. It reminded me I don't know if you got any further in Daredevil season 2, but
A little bit.
I think it was like in episode like 6 or 7 or something. I think it was 7. The episode with the trial of Frank Castle. It reminded me a lot of Foggy when he was like going all badass lawyer trying to defend Frank, and it was pretty cool. I like it. I like the action. I like that this is a different type of action in here, where like you really feel the tension of like the situations and stuff, and like
Yep.
you kind of just you're like really kind of sucked into this case.
And I love how it opens up with Phoenix Wright defending episode 3, the sister saying that she didn't do it. He threw in a bunch of clues and evidence that he found, and they're actually the attorney against him actually asked for 24 hours to re-examine all of the evidence because now he had no defense anymore. And I love how the other lawyer came back and told Phoenix to look up Red White, who leads Blue, the company, which was hilarious. And the way he talks, he's very American. Did you see the dialogue?
I saw it.
That was a little annoying, though, because
I mean, at least it wasn't like that assassination classroom episode.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that.
Oh man.
Oh, would you right? I'm like, what? Would you like a what? Fried rice? What? No, you don't do that. No, don't butcher your own accent. No.
It was so fucking funny.
So anyway, Phoenix Wright goes to him and says, I know you did it, and he throws out all the clues to him, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to actually be at the court tomorrow, and I'm going to testify that you did it. And Phoenix Wright, the tables turn on him, and now he's the one that's being fingered as the murderer.
I like how like Sherlockian like this show gets like with all the evidence gathering and the cross examination and stuff. It's really interesting. And again, I've never played these games, but it sounds like from the looks of this, it looks so cool.
I love it. I thought this was a great 3rd episode. It was enjoyable to listen to watch, and I'm hooked on the series till the end at least.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Like again, crime courtroom dramas are like right up my alley when it comes to regular TV. So of course, if they do it in anime form, I'm definitely on board.
Shoot, same here. All right, so let's get into now. Let's get into what do you call it? Endride, which I have to agree with Angel Borges about one thing. 3 episodes in, it is a very slow-paced anime. I will agree with him there.
Yeah, but at the same time, from what like again, if you like from comparing it to like a bunch of anime that we've seen before, we know we can definitely see where this is going, and this has a ton of potential. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of payoff, and like this slow burn will definitely be worth it in the end. And like we called it in the beginning, and I still totally agree with Enride. Those two
are related.
Have to be brothers, like somehow. Like the dad has to be the guy, Emilio's father, because the guy who took over as the new king said that his father died But
2-1, his father
uh,
was a scientist that got sucked into Earth, and now he's fell in love with Shun's mother, and they had Shun, and now, oh, I can't. I'm excited to get that
Because I mean
reveal.
that because that would be the only real way you could think about to explain that this random human just so happened to when he touched the crystal, it bonded with him and formed the sword and all that.
Right, exactly. So, and I love how the scientist explains more about Endora. He tells Emilio, you get the backstory of him and Emilio, that he was Emilio's teacher growing up, and then he was exiled or he was banished from the kingdom when he didn't want to go to, B. It starts with a B. Um, Babel, in order to recreate the gate that would link Earth with Endora, and they excommunicated him, and that's when the son took even more of a resentment out on his father because he kicked out the scientist.
Hmm.
I like that. And then, of course, now the scientist is going into town, but now Emilio wants to kill the king, and he actually convinces Shun to help him, saying, if you don't help me, you're not going to get home because the king is going.
And it was basic blackmail. He's like the king isn't gonna let you come back. He's gonna try and kill you. So the only way to keep you safe and the only way to get you home is if you help me kill him.
Right, and they devise a plan, and they go off after the king. But at the end of the episode, we get introduced to another band of people that Emilio wants to team up with in order to take down the king. I forgot what they were. It starts with a P.
We'll get these names when as the series
Well, the
gets
next
further along.
episode is the name of it. So if you find out what episode three's name is, that's what they were.
But can we quickly talk about that badass chick with the baby dragon?
Yes.
Because the baby dragon, it is so adorable, but then when it goes all full size, it is so freaking badass.
Oh, you're talking about last week's episode.
Yeah. Because yeah, again, because I wasn't here, I want to quickly talk about that. Because man,
Sure.
that little dragon, it's so cute, but it's so badass. It reminded me. You guys know I'm a huge Kitty Pryde fan. I couldn't help but think of
It
Lockheed.
reminded you of her dragon. That's what I was thinking of too.
I couldn't help but think of Lockheed, and I was like, yeah, that's so cool. And I always love dragons, and man, I want a plushie of that little dragon baby.
If they
Like
ever make that, I want one too.
it's so cool. Like again, I'm always a big fan of like the sword and sorcery type stuff, so I like the setting a lot, and like the animation is really cool, and I like again the whole thing with like him pulling the sword out of his chest. It reminds me a lot of Nico from the Runaways. So I'm getting a lot of like parallel vibes to a lot of stuff I like. So while this isn't on the same level as like a Boku no Hero Academia or 100 or even like Dragon Ball Super or anything like that, it's still I think gonna be eventually work its way up there in the end.
Yeah, I
Very much like how remember how we complained a lot about Divine Gate, but then by the end of it we were like, man,
that was good.
yeah.
I agree. I think Endride has a lot of potential that we're going to be seeing as the series continues forward. Now, there's another show that you're going to have to give your first impression as well, and that's Cerberus, episode number 2, but you have to give your thoughts on episode 1. So, introduced into this show.
Okay, so the opening sequence was really cool with the final battle against that dark dragon thingy. Again, I like dragons, so I was like, as soon as I saw a dragon, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of sold on this. But it also gave me a Naruto vibe because again, Naruto opens up heroic father fighting giant demon monster thingy. And then he somehow like seals it away into something, and then somehow the son is connected to the same evil monster beast thing.
Yep.
And then just like a little time skip where the little boy is now I want to say he's like in his like late teens or whatever. He's like a swordsman and stuff. He does all these like badass tricks, and he's like he can do parkour and all that stuff. And he's like in the city, and he runs into this like gang of orphan lost boy thieves, and they try to take his like stone that his father sealed the dragon in, and I guess he tracked the stone down to like a vendor or whatever,
Mm.
and like he ends up buying it, but then it gets stolen, and so he ends up tracking down the kid. He ends up playing tag with those kids, and they have fun, but then the kid's leader, like the head kid, gets captured by like the kingdom or whatever, and so he ends up freeing the kid and showing off a little bit. But then when he gets captured, his badass sensei comes and rescues him, and the sensei, like, he seems really cool. I like his attitude and it, like, his very protectiveness of his student. It was pretty interesting. And the cat, there's also a cat girl in
That's
this.
episode 2. Now you're going into this week's episode. This week's episode, we get a little bit more backstory on the main character, who's that big guy. It turns out he was there when the parents died fighting the dragon, and he swore to protect the son, which, oh god, his name, oh, I had it, and then I lost it. But anyway, the dragon came back at the end of the last episode. They end up fighting it a bit, but the dragon is defending the boy. I think if the boy dies, the dragon dies too, because I think they're somehow connected.
Yep.
And we find out that the boy wants to get his father's that crystal, that grand.
Yeah. It's the stone thingy. Yep.
That would allow him to beat the dragon. We get to see other characters that are in the main title that obviously will be supporting cast later on. We got to see the cat girl, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
The boy who leads that the kid gang is going to be part of this group. And then the very end of the episode where he's training, we get introduced to the mage girl with the blue hair.
Yep. Man, they were checking off a lot of like anime tropes in this episode, like cat girl, like crazy haired female character, child character.
That child character is so annoying, though. I can't stand her.
It's the voice, man. It's the voice that really kind of bugs me, and I like, but again, the senseis in anime are usually really cool, and his sensei is pretty awesome. I like his sensei in this. He seems very much like kind of like an old school knight, and he wants to kind of instill that same kind of responsibility and like honor into the kid.
I agree. But I love it. I'm loving Cerberus. Cerberus is setting up to be something really huge. I think eventually he's going to get a bigger sword. The fight between the dragon is almost imminent. And now we have that other threat with that other guy. I forgot his name. The guy that's not stealing, but taking all the magic, the wizard magic.
See, I don't think that like him and the dragon are gonna fight per se. I honestly think that he might actually end up very much like Naruto, befriending the dragon and actually like kind of like combining their powers and stuff. Because like, I think like Kurama's problem with Naruto was like they never really bonded. He kind of just used. Like Naruto just kept trying to use Kurama for his power and stuff, but once that like he actually learned his name and learned his story, and they actually became friends and they understood each other, like they got to bond and they became even more powerful, and it was awesome. And I think that's kind of the direction they're gonna go with here.
I could agree with that. I believe that. I'm excited. I can't wait to see where this series goes. Now we're going into 100, which I know you personally had. Oopsie.
Oh.
I made a boo. No, we're fine. Good.
Okay.
You actually you made was it a divine gate? Did you make a luck and logic set?
I think it was a Luck and Logic reference and I also brought up like this is like the third or fourth anime in this season that has to do with some kind of crystal.
Yep. I liked it, though. What did you think of the first episode?
It was really cool. I'm a sucker for school-based anime, so the fact that this is set in a school, a more military, like, kind of combat institution, really interesting. I think the main character is really likable. He kind of reminded me of Yoshika.
Right? Yeah, and basically instead of merging with a goddess, he just merges with his 100, which is a crystal, and it gives him this really cool suit.
Yeah, and it was pretty awesome, and like he makes some good friends. One that obviously has a crush on him right off the
The
bat. Uh,
she calls herself a boy, but we all know as watchers or viewers that she's a girl.
yeah, I
I knew
mean,
you felt
like,
the same way.
yeah, like her nickname is Emmy. Emmy is not a nickname of like a boy would normally use. I mean, if there are any Emmys out there in the comments that are guys, I apologize if I insulted you,
And let
but
us know.
yeah, yeah, but Emmy is typically a girl's nickname, and she obviously was a girl because when she transformed into her 100 suit, she had boobs, and not pecs boobs, boobs. Like,
She just didn't have boobs as big as. You know what I loved in the episode? Well, we'll get to episode 2 when we get to it, but there was a
but
funny boob thing in episode 2.
and I also like how the combat works in here. Like when he fought the president chick, that
That's
was
episode
kind
2.
of
Okay, we're going into
yeah.
episode 2. Okay. Guys,
Also, the president chick is kind of like really harsh.
she's a
Like
bitch.
she's
I really have to say she's a bitch. And her
yeah,
two lackeys are bitches too.
I mean, that was totally uncalled for. Like it was like it's not those girls' fault that like homeboy just wanted to like ditch them and didn't tell them, hey, I'm gonna go to the ceremony on my own. They didn't know. Like for all they knew, he got kidnapped or something. So of course they're gonna go look. Like, what is your problem, lady? Like they're just trying to do their job.
Hmm.
I was yelling at this chick the entire time.
Yeah, and I love how Emil she actually stood up for both of them, and then he stood up for Emil, and oh, it turned into a duel. And then we get into this week's episode where I knew he had something because he's this skilled fighter.
Yeah,
I don't
because
understand
yeah,
why.
because apparently his entrance exam scores are even higher than the president's.
Right, and we
So
find out that if he gets in duress, it's kind of like a Hulk out, but he doesn't Hulk out, but he gets taken over by a force. We don't know what kind of
it reminded me of Wolverine's Berserker Rage.
sort of, but it also reminded me a bit of oh god, you remember Into the Badlands when that kid got cut, he got
Yeah,
possessed,
yeah.
something like that.
I could see that, but yeah, it's a cool little extra mode. But I have a feeling like if he spams it, like he won't be able to come back from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it'll take him longer to recover back to normal if he like does it too often.
I think so too because he did drain himself a bit, and the president actually went overboard taking him out, like you said. And the rest of the episode was really him on a date with Emil.
Let's just go with Emmy. We're gonna go with Emmy.
Oh, the
I,
funny moment with the boob is when he landed on top of the president, and the president apparently is big-breasted, and his hand landed.
I mean, like
Jeez.
usually in these type of shows, the female student council president always has large breasts.
Yeah, but it's so funny because he actually went squeeze, squeeze, and she's like,
Yeah, I thought that was funny. It reminded me of like Moroku from Inuyasha.
it was so funny.
It
I
was
love that.
pretty hilarious.
And then they're in the car later and they're discussing it, and her lackey's like, I would do anything to touch our boss, our president's lush boobs. I'm like, what the fuck? I swear. I
I
was like,
know, I know. I had to rewind that to read that dialogue over again. I was like, what? So I'm like, oh, it's like that.
I was like, whoa, okay, am I right? Am I sure I'm watching the right type of anime?
I'm like, please tell me we didn't cross into hentai land.
I was hoping I was right. I was hoping it wasn't because I was gonna say, Jeremy's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. No, but it's not. It's not.
No, but it's just probably ecchi, which ecchi is kind of like it shows nudity and like it makes those perverted type of jokes, but it's not full on hentai.
Right.
Which I'm okay with because this anime actually reminded me of another anime that I got into a couple years ago. That's on Netflix. It's called Freezing,
Okay.
and that show is really good. But yeah, there's a lot of boob stuff in there too.
No, but I really am enjoying 100. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's so much like Luck and Logic
Yeah, and
meets a few
yeah,
other shows, and
and
it's
Luck
so,
and Logic was one of our top ones. When it was out, man, it was so good.
yeah, it was.
Especially, I mean, it probably had one of the least likable theme songs out of all of them, but but I liked everything else about it.
Exactly. I loved it. 100 is another show I feel. They fight these demons that I forgot what they're called, But I mean, it's so good. I'm really, and I can't wait till
I think they're
Emil gets
called like nightmares or something. I want to
something
say they're
like that.
called nightmares.
Something like that. I can't wait till Emil gets found out also. And the sister, I love how the sister in this episode poked her nose right in between the two of them, which was hilarious.
The sister is so cute. I love like when
That's Luck and Logic again. Remember the sister in
yeah.
Luck and Logic?
But the sister in Luck and Logic didn't get as involved as this sister is like right now. But yeah, I like how in the first episode, like when he shows up late for her to her for her visit, um she's like she just won't talk to him, and when he apologizes, she eventually forgives him. And then like the nurse walks in, and the nurse has like huge boobs, and he's like obviously like as you do, you tend to look down, and then she's just like, "You perv, you're staring at the nurse's boobs," and he's like, "Shut up."
I love that. That's two episodes, two boob references. That's right.
Oh man, I'm
Oh,
telling you, like this is gonna be one of those fun, etchy type of series, because like
but but I like how him and Emil in the end of the episode, the second episode, they got enlisted. They're actually kind of like Naruto. They're still in the school, but they go off on missions also because they're
yep,
so skilled. I thought
yep,
that was cool.
it's gonna be interesting. I wonder, is she gonna end up having to move to the girls' dorm when they find out she's not really a dude?
I see a relationship in the makes with the two of them.
Yeah, they'll probably end up making an exception when she does get found out, because I'm like, you obviously cut your hair for a reason. I'm like, you're definitely trying to pull a Mulan right now.
Mhm.
But for some reason, these people actually buy it. But you do act kind of reckless and a little boyish, and she's flat enough to kind of pass
Unless they pull a thing where she's wearing something
to press her boobs down. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I
Like,
don't want to think about this right now. This is two boobs for me. Too many boobs talks for me.
I feel like that should be the title of the episode.
Yeah, if we only did those. Now we put all the main stories we talk about in the title.
Oh man.
But if we did call this anything, it would definitely be called boobs.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's just too many boobs. Like instead of too
No,
many cooks,
are there too many boobs? Question
and,
mark.
instead of too many cooks, it's too many boobs.
Oh man, you can never have too many boobs.
Nope.
20, 30, 40. Jeremy has 5,000 times two.
Oh Jesus, here we go again.
Everywhere I go, that's what I say first and foremost. Let's go into Boku no Hero Academia. This was I mean, I loved all the anime this week, but man, I read the first 15 chapters of Boku no Hero Academia, and
And I've been
so
keeping
does
up with
two.
this. I've been keeping up with this series ever since it came out. Like I think it was like last summer or 2 summers ago, because it came out literally a couple of weeks after Naruto ended, and I was looking for a series to fill that Naruto void, and this had a very Naruto feel to it. And it had to do with superheroes and comic books. So this was made for me. So
This is made for you. It was made for me too, and
yeah.
Brant actually watched it as well, and he enjoyed it. I know Serenity commented about it. He enjoyed it. It's
Uh,
it's
I'm telling you, anyone that's into comics, even if you don't normally really like are hardcore into anime, you will love Boku no Hero Academia.
it
Oh
was
my
so
god.
good. This week's episode was him basically training to become the vessel to
For
All
All
Might's
Might's
power.
quirk, yeah, it's and it's pretty cool. It
It's a
reminds
for all quirk. Basically, All Might didn't have a quirk either, but somebody passed it down to him. So now he's passing it down to
Izuku.
Izuku. Oh man.
And the training, it reminded it like I got like because this writer is very influenced by American culture. I very much got like a Rocky vibe
Yep.
from it. Like I got a Rocky vibe from it, and very much like a kind of like old school like '80s Karate Kid type of thing too, and a little bit of Dragon Ball Z from back when Dragon Ball when Roshi was training Goku and Krillin and stuff like that.
Yep.
It felt a lot like that. It was really cool.
He had to clean up this entire beach in 10 months.
I loved seeing just how ridiculous like All Might's training is, and it's so funny how ripped he ends up getting in the end. Um,
And then he's like, "Eat my hair," because that's how you do it. You have to have to get the DNA. You had to eat his hair, a piece of his hair. And
Yeah.
that's how the episode ended. Oh, I laughed at that.
Also, this episode kind of gives you a little bit of a spoiler for the manga, which I mean I was kind of okay with, but I didn't expect
Episode
it.
2 did. Episode 2
Yeah,
did.
yeah, that's what I mean. Episode 2. But yeah, like that episode, it gives you a little bit of a spoiler for the manga. I mean, you kind of assume it, but you don't really think that like they would come out and say it right off the bat. But like he says, oh by the way, I forgot to say this is the tale of how I became the world's greatest hero. And I'm like, aw, thanks for telling me the end. I mean, I wanted to see that journey. I mean, I still am gonna be on board, but like I
It
wanted.
could have lasted. It
Yeah.
could have been better without that little proclamation of "This is how I became the world's greatest hero." Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, again, like I don't care because like obviously it's a shonen manga. That's how it's gonna go. Main character fulfills his dream by the end of the series. But like, I still wanted to like have those moments of doubt where oh he's not gonna do it. He's probably gonna quit or become a police officer or whatever. But like. That was cool, but I still like it. Again, it's one of my favorite mangas to read, so obviously it's going to be one of my favorite animes, especially how beautifully animated it is.
Agreed. It's very good. I I love Boku no Hero Academia since
And I told you straight up that you would love All Might, especially being the big Superman fan that you are. You
Yup.
would definitely love All Might.
I'm looking forward to see. I read, like I said, 15 chapters in, and I think Serenity's right. It's going to end right where they finish school and they go off on their first mission. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Renfro thinks they're going to end at the sports festival, but we'll see where it goes.
Either way, we know it's coming back, and I hope they only do. And this is where Serenity mentioned about Sailor Moon Crystal. Maybe they'll take a 6 month break and come back with another 12 episodes. You know.
Yeah, or it'll I think the reason Sailor Moon Crystal does 6 months is because Sailor Moon Crystal is just kind of a reanimating of an already established anime.
Maybe.
So I think it'll probably do the year break like Fairy Tail and whatchamacallit and
Yeah,
One
but
Punch
I
Man
hate
does.
that because that's basically like a year on and then a year off, and then a year on and then a year off, and it's like, why do I want to wait 12 months? Dude, every year I get a year older. I would like to see the anime finish in my lifetime.
I
Imagine
mean,
if they did that with Naruto.
oh my god, if they did that with Naruto, again, like, we made this joke in a very early episode of Anime Weekly, but I would be on my deathbed just
Watching
saying,
the last
I
episode.
finally got to see the end!
Now
There it
you
is.
can die.
He became the Hokage, and now he gets to have children. Yay, I can die a happy man now.
And then you find out that there's another series, and you're like,
And then I'm gonna have to possess my descendants so that I can watch the future episodes with Boruto and everybody.
dude, don't make me think about that. Maybe I'll try to figure out a way to possess somebody before I die.
I mean, I've seen enough anime and read enough Doctor Strange and Constantine comics to figure out a spell or two. I'll find a way.
Good, then you teach me how to do it so I could find a way. So I can
Yep.
live on.
Yep, you'll see. Well, you'll see us in the future.
Dum dum dum. There's no way to follow that up except.
That came off a lot more ominous than I intended.
Yes, so that's it for this week's Anime Weekly. I guess
Yeah, that was one way to end it.
that was definitely Jeremy. That was one way to end it. So let us know, like we mentioned before in the comments below, if you'd like to hear some anime, some manga and DVD news or DVD stuff mixed in the beginning with our news, especially because news is very light at times. So it's very good to stick manga updates like that Jeremy's read, that I've read, and DVDs that we've that have come into our collection. We could talk a little bit about that at the beginning of Anime Weekly. Obviously, if it gets too long, we'll go into 2 shows. Just to mention that one last time. I know this is like the 5th time I've mentioned that now. And just let us know, what did you guys think of this week's anime? I'd like to really quickly throw out a thank you to Angel Borges again, who did recommend 3 animes, and you guys are welcome to recommend them as well. The 3 animes that he recommended that he's watching are Kiznavir, which is a great opening. It's a sci-fi action. Bun Goo Stray Dogs, which is a supernatural action, and Twin Star Exorcist. I've seen that before.
I've been meaning to watch Twin Star
Yeah.
Exorcist. That started already. I'm gonna check that out. I will
Oh.
I will I will watch the first couple episodes and I'll let you know how that is.
And we
If
could
I
add that. I mean,
Yeah.
and DN did recommend some too. I cannot access my messages on here on my phone, so I apologize, DN. But I know you did recommend 3 as well. So those are the 3 that Angel recommended. If you have any recommendations, please feel free to leave to comment below. Let us know what you're watching.
Yeah,
We'll
and
check it out.
if you guys like this kind of format where we give you guys shout outs and stuff, we'll definitely keep this going.
Oh, absolutely. I love giving credit. I love giving credit to people who comment, and I'm so thank you all. I mean, there were some great conversations I've had in the comments with Serenity, with that other person. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. The anime guy, Flav. I showed your name at some point. So
And also, like, if you guys have any pieces of anime news you would like us to talk about, definitely tell us in the comments below. I
yes,
know there was one that I wanted to talk about, but I might save for later. I'll tell Chris off camera, but there's a little bit of controversy revolving an anime and a movie adaptation that I did want to talk about,
oh, I think I know what it is.
but I feel like that.
Pokemon.
Um,
China
uh,
and Japan are fighting over that right now.
God dang it, man. Why do they gotta do this? Why do they gotta turn everything live action? Anyway, that's another time. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But I'm glad to be back, guys. It's been fun. I missed this. As you can see, like, it's off the rails, but hey, that's what makes it fun.
Exactly, and we do get our anime and manga and movies and stuff talked about. So, till next time, guys, don't forget to check out more stuff right here on ComicFrontline.com. We are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, why not subscribe today? Because every day there's a new video, and you won't miss out on a single video if you're subscribed. So, till next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting.
And keep enjoying your anime.
I was waiting for that, man. You got it.
There's a delay.
Boom.
Don't blame me for Skype,
I
okay?
blame the boobs. You and your 5,000 boobs. Good night, everybody. We'll see you in the future when we possess our great grandchildren.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.